Hello and welcome to a new video on the channel. This is Magic the Gathering Arena. And have I got a video today? I need to keep this intro as short as possible because it's a fairly long match. So what I'm going to do, let's just get straight into it. These are the decks that I've got. I've only been... I need to do this really quick. I apologise. This is Magic the Gathering Arena. These are the decks that I've got. I've basically been playing Magic Arena casually. Because to me I think it's a really good casual game. And you can have a couple of matches in the space of like 5 minutes. And if you win those matches, brilliant. The match I'm going to show you is longer than that. So pre-warning if you actually want to watch it. The deck I'm running... The main thing that I want to say really is starting out, these are the decks that I've got. These are decks that have been unlocked through, you know, doing all of the early game stuff. I've been playing for about 2 months, 3 months probably, on and off. Casually, you know, maybe put an hour into it one evening, you know, that kind of thing. So the majority of the cards that are going to be part of this deck, which we're going to show off, is the blue-black deck, as I aptly named it, because it's blue and black mana. We're going to have a quick look at this deck. Let me see if we can get a better view on that. There we go. That's a better view, isn't it? Much better. So these are the cards. I'm not going to go into them in detail. I'm not really going to explain... The main purpose of this deck is to mess with people. So, I mean, we've got Trickster's Talisman, which allows us to duplicate one of our creatures. We've got Unsummon, we've got Duress, we've got some basic, you know, creatures and things like that then as well. I mean, I say basic, it's a rare. You can see what's going on if you want to pause to look at what's going on. I mean, we've got Reject, which counters spells, or we've got Depart the Realm, which returns things to the opponent's hand. We've got a Deadly Dispute, so we can sacrifice an artifact or creature. So if things aren't necessarily going our way, we could say sacrifice this Waterkin Shaman and we get to draw 2 cards and create a treasure token. Or if, say, you know, we haven't really got anything to put the Trickster's Talisman on, we could sacrifice that. Nullpriest of Oblivion, Siphon Insight, that lets us exile one of the opponent's top 2 cards, and we can play this as well for the flashback cost. So again, the theme is mess with the opponent, basically. So we've got stuff, like I said, we've got Unsummon, we've got Duress, which lets us discard a non-creature, non-land card from it. Essentially, if they've got an enchantment card, then we could get rid of it. And we also then, through that, get to see what our opponent has got in their hand. And that's a really good early game card. For that reason, you get to see what they've got, you know exactly what they're going to be playing. I mean, I've played games where I've literally played a Duress and someone's quit straight away because they didn't like me seeing what they had in their hand. Carrying on then, we've got Cloudkin Seer. This allows us, my decks I like to use flying types. So the reason for using the flying types is unless the opponent's got a flying type or a creature with reach, the flying types can't be blocked. So we can get in for some quick damage with the likes of the Frost Trickster, the Cloudkin Seer. The Cloudkin Seer allows us to draw a card. The Frost Trickster taps an opponent's card, which means they can't then attack on their next turn with that card. We've got a couple of Poppet Stitchers in the deck. We've got a Grazilaxx, which again, if we've got Grazilaxx on the battlefield, one of my flying types gets in and does a little bit of damage, we get to draw another card. So we've got these factors where we're drawing additional cards. That's a theme as well. We've also got a No Way Out, which target opponent discards 2 cards, and then we create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, which helps with Poppet Stitcher. Because once you've got, say, 3 of these 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, they then become 3/3 instead if we transform Poppet Stitcher into Poppet Factory. And they can then defend as well. We've got Skull Raid, which is one of my favourite cards, which makes the opponent discard 2 cards. That's something that I like to do fairly early on. We can foretell it for 2 and then play it later on for 2. We've also recently added this Henrika Domnathi. It's a flying type. It boosts flying types as well, and it's got lifelink. I believe it's got lifelink, if I'm reading that correctly. I'm rushing through this because I don't want a really long video. We've got Iymrith. Is it Iymrith? We say it. Desert Doom flying. Desert Doom has ward 4 as long as it's untapped. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So we've got that ability again to draw more cards. We've got 3 Mind Flayers, which are fantastic to take control of an opponent's creature. I've recently added the Sludge Monster to the deck. Whenever Sludge Monster enters the battlefield or attacks, put a slime counter on up to 1 other target creature. Non-horror creatures with slime counters on them lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 2/2. We've got Riddlemaster Sphinx. When Riddlemaster Sphinx enters the battlefield, you may return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. So again, we're messing with the opponent, sending stuff back to the hand. This is one of my favourite cards, Cyclone Summoner, and it's going to be important in the video I'm going to show you. When Cyclone Summoner enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, return all permanents to their owner's hands except for giants, wizards and lands. This is handy because our Cloudkin Seer is a wizard, as is our Frost Trickster. So we can wipe the board, but retain these 2 cards and any other giants, wizards and land. We've got a Windreader Sphinx, which is again, it's a flying creature, and whenever a creature with flying attacks, you may draw a card. So we've got the ability there again to draw a card from here. We get to draw a card from Grazilaxx, and we get to draw a card with Iymrith. And then we've literally got 16 blue, 7 black, and then we've got a mixture of blue and black. That's the deck. The video that I did, it was about a week ago now. It was a fantastic match. Very, very good. And I'm going to put that into the video now. And I'll see you in a bit. So this is the match that we had, where we are showcasing the blue-black deck. And I hope you didn't hear the Windows noise, but if you did, there was a Windows noise. Because I am recording this and I've basically got a little screen, so I'm trying to see what is going on. So we've got some decent stuff to start off with. We've got Frost Trickster, Poppet Stitcher. We've got the Windreader Sphinx. Henrika Domnathi. We've got a couple of lands in. Obviously the person we're up against here, they've got a white mana deck, which is pretty much, if someone's playing white, it's going to be life gain. So as you can see, we're in for our first one. We're going to do Frost Trickster. Although the flying, one of the abilities there is tapping an opponent. We haven't got an opponent that we can tap, because they haven't played anything yet. And I'm just having a little look at my Henrika Domnathi. So they've brought in an Impassioned Orator, which is pretty much all about the life gain. So I've decided here to play Henrika Domnathi. We get to transform it into another flying type. And like I said, with the flying types, they don't, well, there's what Henrika has got. The flying types can only be blocked by other flying types or creatures with reach. And at the moment, they've only got an Impassioned Orator in. which will get them some life gain. And as this match goes on, that is the key component of our opponent's deck, is specifically life gain. And one thing I didn't notice at the time was how few land cards they had. I remember a little look there at the land card that he's got, Temple of the Dragon Queen. So they've actually brought in a Falcon Abomination, which I completely forgot they even played. We're racking up some land cards here with 5. I'm just going over the Henrika card, and I'm just working out what it can do, whether we're going to activate the ability or not, which we have done. That's cost us 2. We can also play a Waterkin Shaman, which isn't great, but still. We're doing the attack. They have got one that can block. Frost Trickster's gone, but so is their one. We've also got some life gain ourselves, because Henrika has got Death Touch and Lifelink in its transformed state. The cards we've got in our hand, Poppet Stitcher would be good. Now this card is the difference maker. This Teslara Moon Dancer. As you can see, the ability that it's got, that is the key component of the opponent's deck. And they do have, there's another card that they play. To be fair, the deck that this person had was really, it was working well, is what I would say, and I mean like really working well. So I think you can learn quite a bit from just watching what they are doing. And in fact, you can probably learn more from what they are doing than what I was doing. But at the same time, this is a really good example of, I don't know, getting the cards that you're looking for, but at the same time, like I said, this match went on. You can see now this Tesla is getting really powered up in a big way. And I have got to Depart the Realm there. So looking back on this, I'm thinking to myself, I should be playing that Depart the Realm. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So we're playing Depart the Realm to stop that from getting any more powered up. Playing it after the Poppet Stitcher, so we get the 2/2 Decades. We're going to go in for that one, which actually was a mistake. I shouldn't have done this, because he's got a flying type, but at the same time we are going to get the life gain. I think we had the Death Touch as well, yeah. So we're getting the life gain. So I suppose in a way sacrificing Henrika there to get more flying types in later. I think that was the other card. That was the one. That was the card that makes the difference. That plus the Teslara one made all the difference. We do have a Windreader Sphinx, which we can get into play, which we are going to do. Waterkin Shaman's going to get powered up. I think I'm not going to attack on this one. Oh, I wouldn't, looking back on it. I mean, I played this game about a week ago. I wouldn't bother, but we are going for it. I have no idea why. I think it's just to try and get him to block me, basically. Because I don't think they've got anything. No, they've got nothing that they would have wanted to block. Because sometimes when you play in a deck and you get creatures in the battlefield, they're not going to be doing damage, like Impassioned Orator, the, what is it, Prosperous Innkeeper. Those two are all about getting as you can see, getting the abilities to activate, getting all the +1/+1s, and this is where things start to go a bit crazy, because as you can see, all the abilities activating. I would love to have seen like the full deck that this person had. Now we've got a No Way Out, which we're going to play, because number one, it's the only thing we can play. Poppet Stitcher is going to activate their ability to get a 2/2, and they are basically going to have to discard the 2 cards they've got in their hand. But in fact, they've played that and gained life, which has actually benefited them before they've discarded 2 cards. And obviously now all of this is activating, and as we can see, we've got 28, we've got thing. Now I wanted to get the Sphinx in to do 1 attack, because we get to draw a card, and they can't block me. So we can also then play the Swamp. So as it stands, we've got a lot of land cards actually. We've got 2, we've got 5, we've got 6, we've got 8. So we can pretty much play anything in our deck if we get it. Now I was begging for a Mind Flayer. As you saw, I've got 3 Mind Flayers in this deck. If I'd have had a Mind Flayer, I could have took this Teslara and they wouldn't have done as much damage, or they wouldn't have done as well, I don't think. Now I decided I'm not going to block this, because I've got 27 health. I'm not doing this. But it was activating an ability which was getting it life gain, which then meant, oh look, all of these abilities are going to activate again. So as you will see, their life just went up and 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 up. But there is a way to beat it. There is a way to beat it. There is a way to stop it. As you can see as well, now we've got Grazilaxx. So again, I'm not particularly happy that, you know, they've got 36 and I've got 18. But we'll get Grazilaxx in. That will allow us to draw a card when we do damage. They haven't got a flying type that can block me. Windreader Sphinx also allows us to draw a card anyway, so we can do that. We've now got another Swamp. We've got another Waterkin Shaman. So we'll get that out on the battlefield. And really, the Waterkin Shamans are fodder, as far as I'm concerned, at this point. They've got a Cleric class, which is going to basically boost all of the life gain. But they've also got the ability then now to play the +1/+1. So when they do gain life, which they're going to keep doing, we also now have a Skull Raid, which we can play for the, which I'm going to play for the full cost, because we've got tons of land. We get to do another one of those. They then basically cannot discard cards. We got Confounding Conundrum, we get to draw another card. We've got Unsummon at this point, which I'm going to play, and we're going to put it on there. Now I'm thinking, right, this is actually kind of cool, because again, now we're going to get Windreader Sphinx in to do a little bit of damage, because they've got nothing that can block it. And we're going to be able to draw 2 cards. So we're going to play another land. They're obviously going to keep playing this Teslara, and it's going to just keep working, because they're going to gain life, and they're going to get even more +1/+1 counters. So I suppose in a way, was that a good idea? I mean, it slowed them down from attacking with it as quickly as they did. Yeah, I mean, the life gain's going to go sky high though again. And it looks like he's putting some, or they, I should say, are putting some +1/+1s on the Impassioned Orator. Poppet Stitchers can transform, so we decide to transform them because our 2/2 token creatures are now 3/3 proper creatures. We've got Sludge Monster, which I waste the ability on. No, because at the end of the day, all it does is it removes abilities. We've got Duress, but we can't really do anything with it. We're going to do, again, Windreader Sphinx is going to get in for 1. We're going to get to draw 2 more cards. We've now got a reject, which is good. Grazilaxx is going to allow us to draw another card. So we've got another land card. At this point, I have no idea how many land cards we've got. 3, 6, 7, 9, 11 land cards, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And we've got a reject that we can use if need be. I don't know what they've got in their hand. I can't remember what they play. But they're going for the attacks again. They're going to get the life gain again. Now I decide, let's just sacrifice a couple of the shamans. Waterkin Shamans. They're going to do the ability there for the life gain, which means they're going to go up again. So they've now gone up to 43, and they're also going to get +1/+1 counters for everybody. And also, there's going to be more stuff going on, as you can see. There's a lot of stuff going on. The board gets very, very small. They've also got another cleric class. Poppet Factory, we can transform back to Poppet Stitcher. I'm going to decline. We've got a Frost Trickster, which can come in again. We've got another flying type. And we can then tap an opponent, which is going to be, well, it should have been Tesla the Moon Dancer. So I don't know what I'm doing here. No idea. I've just tapped one of the cats for some reason. No idea why. I should have gone for Tesla there, but for some reason I didn't. I think I just thought, oh, it's already tapped, but I should have tapped it again. But we're drawing the extra cards. We're still doing the damage. We've got Cloudkin Seer, which will allow us as well to draw another card. So as you can see, we got the card drawing going on. We've still got that reject if they decide to play anything. If they play a creature, then yes. So now they've got 2 cleric classes doing 2 +1/+1s when they gain life. And they're going for the Moon Dancer again, and they're going for the Orator again. And at this point I decide, well, let's just block them again with the zombies. But the problem is, they're going to do the damage anyway, because he's going to do the same activation again. They're going to gain more life. And then they're going to get more +1/+1 counters and more of these cats, these cat creatures. So they've gone up now to 56. I've got 18. They've got 59. They go even higher than that. We've got the chance to transform Poppet Factory back into Poppet Stitcher, so we decide, yep, we'll do that. So we've got another land card. We've got the Forsworn Paladin. We can activate a bunch of his abilities. I don't think I do though. I don't know if I do. Yeah, we're going to activate the abilities. And we're going to put it on probably the Sphinx. So that's number 5. Okay, let's go to combat. We're going to do, the flying types are all going to do damage, which, to be fair, then allows us to draw a card each time, because of the ability the Windreader Sphinx has got. So every time a flying creature attacks, we get to draw a card. And we're going to get in for all that damage, which sounds like a lot, but it isn't. Not when your opponent's got 59 health. Grazilaxx is going to allow us to draw another card. Now at this point, we've got a Cyclone Summoner. And I thought to myself, shall I play it? Because we can play it. We can totally play it. And I thought, But I just decided, well, let's do the Duress. We get to see they've literally got one card. No, they haven't. And I thought, well, we could have done the Cyclone Summoner. And I didn't. I stupidly didn't. I say stupidly didn't. I just didn't. In the end, it didn't matter. But we could have played the Cyclone Summoner and wiped the board completely. Now, bearing in mind, we've got all of these land cards. We've got like 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4. We've got, what is it? I can't even see how many we've got. But they've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, they go all out to try and end the game, to try and take me out, basically. So I decide, well, I'm going to block them. Because I know for a fact I'm going to play Cyclone Summoner and it's going to change the game completely on my next turn. So I decide, well, let's do some blocks. Let's do some blockage. I think I do anyway. I think I block some of them. I think we block the big one there. And I think I decide, well, I'll take all of the little damages. We do Sludge Monster on the Impassioned Orator, which will take that out. We're taking a little too long there. That's the only 2 blocks. So, but I'm sure at this point in time they're probably thinking, yeah, this should be straightforward and easy. And they're going to put life gain on that one again. And he's also putting life gain on the Orator, which I didn't even realise that happened. So they take me down to 4. They go up to 68. They're going to do all the +1/+1 business again. So they've got 68 health, I've got 4. Let's just make that clear. That is what's going on right now. And in fact, they've got 72. So again, let's just make that totally clear as to where things are in terms of the health here, the health situation. Poppet Stitcher, yeah, we decide to transform it, but we're going to play the Cyclone Summoner. First and foremost, we're going to play the Cyclone Summoner. And this is going to completely wipe the board. And we've actually got too much stuff in our hand now. So I'm looking now, what should we play next? And the thing that did they just say oops? I think they just said oops. I didn't even notice that in real time. But we've played a couple of other things. I decide, let's not bother attacking yet. So they've got 72. I've got 4. The mistake I made here was I should have held back because I've got 2 rejects. I'm saying good game to them. Because it's been, in my opinion at the time, I thought it was a really good game. They're saying good game as well. I think they're still confident that they can win this match. But little do they know, I've got a couple of these rejects, and the reality is I should have held back on them. The other reason as well I'm saying that is I know I've got a Mind Flayer, so if they play their favourite card, there it is, we are going to potentially use a Mind Flayer to take control of that. And I think that's what I do. So they're playing the classes early. They've pretty much done all of their stuff, right? So first thing I'm going to do is we're going to get another land on. We've literally got, what, 15 of them at this point, something like that. We're going to do Mind Flayer. We're going to take control of the Moon Dancer. Which we do. And then I'm working out whether I can play. I could play that, yeah. I'm pretty sure I could. Because we've still got another 9 cards, yeah. There we go. So we can play that. And we've got a reject in reserve. So we get to play that. Our flying types are just going to get in. And we're going to be able to draw more cards again. We're going to be looking at, what, drawing 3 cards? We're going to go in for the Cyclone Summoner as well. Just to get a bit of damage on them. Bring them down. Windreader Sphinx is going to let us draw 2 cards. Which we're going to do. So we get them down to 63. Grazilaxx is going to let us draw another card. We've got Siphon Insight, so we could potentially take some of their cards as well. But we've got a full hand, yeah. But we're holding back on playing a reject to stop them. So they've activated the Cleric class. And they're going to play this guy, which we're going to use reject on. And that basically ruins their deck. That ruins the game for them. And they concede. And at this point, I was absolutely shocked that I'd won a game where the opponent had 63 health and I had 4. What a turnaround. What an advertisement for this deck of mine. So that is my blue-black deck, which is kind of a trolly deck, I suppose, in terms of what's there. I hope you enjoyed. If you have watched the video to this point, thank you so much. And maybe we'll do some more. Maybe we'll do some more Magic videos very soon.